welcome to HappyCrab Knits. My name is Sarah, and this is my first episode for knitting. The reason why I decided to do this podcast is because I don't have any knitting friends. I am the only one that knits to my friends and family, and I figured that this would be a great place to make friends and be able to talk about knitting and, my excitements and my struggles with other fellow knitters that, you can relate. So I'm hoping to make friends, and hopefully those that are watching, you'll be more than happy to put comments, and maybe you'll make a knitting friend too. So that's the reason why I started this podcast. A little bit about myself. I'm a wife and fur mommy. I have 3 kitties and 2 dogs, and they are just amazing. They never grow up. I'm a coffeeholic. Love all things coffee. Black coffee. I used to drink a cream and sugar, and then I got to the point where I was like, just out of the pot, right in the cup, call it a day. So that is what I do now. Got my husband into coffee, but he's a cream and sugar guy, so there's no creamer. The coffee pot's all mine. So knitting. Why knitting? Well, just knitting in general is amazing. I first tried to teach myself how to crochet, and I'm a lefty. So that was really hard to find patterns, and I've noticed that when I was crocheting, my hand would hurt quite a bit because of, I guess, how I tension the yarn. And I've always thought knitting was really cool, the idea of using 2 needles and making sweaters and hats and scarves and pretty well anything. It's just really up my alley. So I did like everybody else did. I got on YouTube and I was watching tutorials, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to teach myself because I don't know how to do it left-handed or right-handed, and kind of find out there's really no such thing as a left-handed and right-handed with knitting. I do knit English style though, so I'm a thrower, and I've been knitting for about 2 years. When I have time when I'm not working. So usually what ends up happening is I get off work, we have dinner, hanging on the couch, grab my knitting, husband plays video games, and it's a win-win situation. So, and he actually likes it. He really loves the fact that I knit. He thinks it's really cool, the stuff that I've been making, and I also find it very therapeutic, really therapeutic. Just the clanking of the needles, just, I don't know. It's like a mantra. So, but anyways, that's why I knit. See here. What was the first thing I tried to knit? Socks. Figured if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go big. So I found a pattern, actually by Marley Bird, and I actually have the pattern. It was the My First Socks by Marley Bird. And but actually when she did it, you can find it on the Red Heart website, and it's Chick Sheep Marley Bird. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yeah, this pattern, this is what got me on socks, and I have not looked back. I love socks. And then so she was like my base, my foundation, and then I was watching podcasts and I came across the Crazy Sock Lady. And oh my gosh, if y'all have not watched her, please watch her. She is just really awesome at her tutorials, and just listening to her talk about knitting, you just get really like pumped up, and especially about socks. So because of her, I have gone to town on socks. She has a vanilla sock pattern, which you can do, which is great actually. I actually knit socks. I started out with DPNs with the Marley Bird My First Sock, and then I went to 9-inch circulars, which if y'all have not done 9-inch circulars, amazing. Like, just no ladders. That's all I gotta say. No ladders whatsoever, which has been really good because I have issues with tension apparently on DPNs, so I would get that laddering effect and just very fiddly. I would do the 4 needles where you cast on and then split around the 4 needles and then use the 5th needle to knit. So mine's more of a square when I do it. So I know how to do DPNs, but I prefer 9-inch circulars when it comes to socks. So if you're curious, I would suggest my first socks by Marley Bird, and then the vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. She also has one called the Morning Coffee Sock, and I did this on, oh my gosh, the Corner of Craft. I forget the sock base that I got, but this is called Flail Snail. So she's really big into Dungeons and Dragons, and she names her sock yarn bases after certain characters, which I think is pretty cool. So this is called the Flail Snail. That's the yarn. The pattern is the morning sock, and as you can see, like, it's a really cool ribbing effect. The pattern has it going all the way down from the top of the foot, and then stockinette on the bottom. But I prefer just stockinette. Sometimes checkers get really weird, especially when you're wearing them with shoes. So I have not attempted to do patterns on the top of the foot, but I may have to try. And then the cuff I really like. It's twisted rib, and I really like the effect that you can get by doing that, where it has like those nice solid bars, which I think is pretty cool. So definitely a fan of twisted rib. And then what I was saying about the vanilla sock, what's really cool is you can kind of just toy around with it. So this is a shorty, and this yarn, again, it's a sock yarn, merino wool nylon. This is by Northshire Yarns. You can find her on Instagram, and her yarn is really nice too. And this is actually kind of a cross between the vanilla sock and the Sail Away sock pattern, which is on Ravelry. And what I'll do is I'll link the patterns and the designers that I talk about in the description box, so that way you know where to go. So this one though has the slip stitch heel, which I really like. Marley Bird does the Eye of Partridge, which is a nice one too, but I just find like this one really easy. It's thick enough but not too thick. I think it's gonna wear really nice. I've worn these quite a few times in socks and super comfortable. So as you can see, I am on a sock kick right now, but that's also because the Crazy Sock Lady Kay, she is doing a summer sock camp right now for 2021. Got myself a mug from her, and so through August you knit socks, and she has a group in Ravelry, and there's no charge to join the camp. You just pick which cabin you're in. So I'm in the 9-inch circular cabin. And then you have a chat thread, and then there's a finished object thread, and then she's going to do prizes at the end after camp. So fingers crossed, because I don't win things, but you know, there's a first time for everything. So yeah, that's that. And then this current sock I'm working on, I finished one, I'm making its mate, is this one. And this is all the vanilla sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. So there's no combining patterns on this one. So this one is a 2x2 rib. I did not do twisted, so you can see how it's flat. And then I'm loving this stripy yarn. This is by Mandy's Making. So this yarn she made for the summer sock camp, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the fact that it stripes. It's just as fun. And then I did, it came with because I bought the sock set, so it came with this, and then a smaller ball of the yellow yarn. So I'm doing cuff and toes. Heel I'm leaving as is, because I mean, I'm not a huge like contrast color on a heel flat, but I do like cuffs and toes kind of contrasty, so that's what I'm doing. And I'm working on its mate right now, and for my birthday my husband got me a yarn spool holder. Love it. So I have to show you, and this is whipping up really fast. I am total team turtle when it comes to knitting. I am not a speed racer at all with knitting. No. But for some reason, I'm noticing that my speed is increasing, but I think it also has to do with the fact that it's straight up stockinette, so there's no pattern I have to look at. So I've done the cuff, I've worked the main part of the leg, and then working on the heel flap, and I love tacos. So check out this little cute taco stitch marker. It has a mate, which is hanging out in the other room, that says you had me at tacos. These are from 3 by the Sea Design, and I am going to link her too, because her stitch markers, they are so light. They don't pull, as you can see, like there's no tugging on the yarn. It doesn't catch. They're perfect. Like, love them. Also a really good stitch markers is Vessel Stitch Company. I actually found out about them through the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. They're based out of Canada. She is based out of Canada. I'm horrible with names, so sorry guys. Hers are really light too, and they're fun. She also does like a Stitch of the Month club. So you'll get goodies along with the stitch markers, or you can just purchase the stitch markers. So it's completely up to you on how you want to do that. So that is what I'm currently working on. And then after this, I think I'm going to be done with summer sock camp. Not because I want to not knit more socks, I do, but I have a shawl that I have been working on that is still not finished, and I started that towards the end of last year, so it's been a hot minute. It's a new kit shawl, but I will talk more about that hopefully on the next podcast that I'm gonna do. Hopefully I will have a lot more done and I can actually show you what I'm working on. This one's just more of an introductory of kind of what I'm doing, and so I am open for creative criticism. Just please don't be mean, but if you're like, hey, you could do this better or that better, let me know. Like I said, I want this to be a really fun experience and interactive, and I don't want you watching this going, God, she's really boring, or I wish you'd do it this way. You know, I'm open for suggestions, so please let me know. Let's see here. What else do I have? Oh, let's talk about some yarn. So I am not opposed to going to Michael's and buying yarn, because sometimes it's more cost effective that way. But I've really gotten into indie dyers, and I've noticed that everybody has like different sock bases, so not everybody's yarn feels the same, which I think is really neat. I like that. So one of the yarns that I just purchased is called Wild Lemonade by the Mermaid Yarn Company. Is this not the prettiest color? Like, it just screams summer, and I love it. And I have no idea what I'm going to make out of it. But this one is her 75/25 merino nylon fingering. It's 415 yards, 100 grams, 3-ply. And again, it's called Wild Lemonade. And I love her logo. Her logo is super cute. Like, I can't even. I mean, hello, Happy Crab. Gotta have something with a mermaid, you know? So, gotta stay in that realm. What else do I have? I know this is not really going as long as I was hoping it would be. Oh, let's talk about patterns. Patterns that I like and that I have actually knitted up. So, last year, I knitted for my mom a beanie, and it's called the Alaska Beanie. I know a lot of people knitted this, and oh my goodness. This is by Camille Descoteaux. Descoteaux. I'm horrible at French, and if you're watching this, I am so sorry I'm butchering your name, but your pattern is amazing, and her chart is really good too. And I'm gonna post a picture of what I did, and it's just, as you see, I mean, this is what you get. It's just a wonderful pattern. Like, wasn't hard to understand whatsoever. Very easy to follow. The chart was great. Definitely going to be making another one. I did learn though, with color work, my tension is super tight because I gave it to my mom, and I'm gonna have to make it again because it's just, it doesn't sit right. It doesn't sit right. So I'm gonna redo it. But one of the ladies that I talked with at our local yarn shop here in Norfolk, Virginia, Baba Sheep, she was saying to do it inside out. So instead of knitting like, you know, when you're knitting, you have the needles facing you. She says when you're doing color work, have the needles like away from you. So basically you're looking at your inside when you're doing it. She says that way it helps with your tension. I haven't tried it, but I'm going to the next time I do something that entails color work like that, and I will let you know how that goes. I have also done the Good Time mitts, which I got off of Ravelry. This one was a free pattern, and it's by Melissa Woods, and her website is spicyhomemaker.com. And this is a great mitt pattern, and oh boy, fast off the needles. I made a couple. I was at home with Mom. My mom's finally out of her chemo treatment, but I was making her mitts for her hands, and then one of the ladies that she knows has arthritis really bad, so I made her some, and she absolutely loved them, and they're working like they're supposed to, so yay for that. So I'm definitely going to be making more of those Good Time mitts, especially come Christmas time. And then there is a winter sweater pattern that I want to make, and it's called Lodge Pullover, and it's by Erin Beth Designs. This is a for purchase off of her Etsy shop, and she does a YouTube video. And that's actually how I came across this one, and it was like a year or two ago, and I just watched it. It was right before I was really wanting to learn how to knit, and it looks fun. It's made with bulky yarn, so it's supposed to whip up pretty quick, like, and it's a raglan shaping, so it doesn't look too difficult. So I'm gonna try to give that a shot. Oh, and I do have some books that I want to show. So just disclaimer, J.K. Rowling, she sucks. Okay, I get it. Like, ugh. But I'm a firm believer that you can love something and not like the creator. So with that being said, for Christmas, my husband bought me the Harry Potter knitting magic book. And I'm super excited because there's a lot of fun patterns, and like my best friend, she absolutely loves Harry Potter. So what I want to make for her is this cute little owl. I think that would be a lot of fun, and that'll be my first stuffed animal project. I've never made one, but I love the pictures. Like the pictures themselves are really pretty, and like the charts look okay, and like I think that one's really fun. This one's cool. It's actually like a long tubular scarf, so it has like different motifs. So I'm definitely going to be cracking into this book and actually making some stuff. So, because yeah, like I said, I love Harry Potter. You can love one thing and not like the person that did it. And that's exactly where I stand, because you know what? We are all human. We are all on this earth. And we should all be happy. And to hate someone based on who you are is just absolutely absurd to me. So with that being said, this is a total safe space. I don't care who you are. You are welcome here, and I welcome you. And I cannot wait to be your knitting friend. So welcome. Another book that I just purchased. Okay, if y'all have not tried Malabrigo yarn, y'all, it's amazing. Like, it is so buttery soft. I don't know what they do to their yarn, but it's nice, and it's really easy to work with and knit up, and it slides through your hands, and it doesn't leach the moisture out of your hands, so you know, like, you don't feel like you need to have a whole bottle of yarn whole bottle of lotion when you're knitting. I do like the Malabrigo, but they have a hat book, y'all. Christmas gifts. Like, it is just so pretty. Like, you have that one, and then there's, oh, so this one was featured in my yarn shop, Baba Sheep, that I was telling you about, my local yarn shop that I like to go to. This was featured without the tassel, and this is why I bought the book. I bought the book for this pattern, kind of like how I am with cookbooks. If I find like 2 recipes I think I'll cook, I usually buy the book. I like print a lot. Like I have a binder full of patterns that I want to make. I'm very tactile, So, and I love books, like going to an old bookshop, you know, and that musty smell, and just, you know, thumbing through a book. There's just nothing like it. So yeah, I digress. This one's really fun too, and I'm thinking I want to make this for like when we go skiing, because it looks like a gigantic snowflake on the top of your head. So, and pom-poms. I love pom-poms. So yeah, so this is a really cool book, and it's called Time for Hats, Malabrigo, and it's book 15. And it's very light. It's very soft, like leathery feel almost with this book. And yeah, it's a really cool book. I'm really glad I got it. Apparently they have other books for different things in Malabrigo yarn. Who knew? So that is something that I'm gonna have to try out sometime. Oh, I did order a project bag. It's by 3 by the Sea Designs, and it's just is so fun. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna take it out of the bag. Okay, so the reason why I have it in the bag is because, like I said, I'm a fur mom, so I don't care how often you dust or vacuum, fur everywhere. And I didn't want to have to lint roll this yet. So, but this is what it looks like outside. Isn't that cute? So this is her card, 3 by the Sea. The owners is Dreama Craddock, Rebecca Craddock, Kim Nemo. And they're the ones that I showed you the taco stitch marker, like super light. And what's really cute is it has a little lemon, little lemon stitch marker, which is on the zipper. And then I love this fabric because it kind of reminds me of, you know, when you go to those restaurants and they draw on the with the chalkboard paint. This is exactly the same feel that you get. And what's nice too is it has pockets on the inside, and there's lemons, another lemon motif going on in there. It's just so fun and springy, and it's big enough to where I'm thinking I may have to transfer my shawl out of my itty bitty project bag I have. It's actually in a cake cover, but it's a little bit, it's not snug, so I can stick my needles in it, but it's getting a little bit, you know, I'm working on the shawl, so it's getting bigger, it's getting thicker, so it's going to get transferred into this cute bag. So really pleased with my purchase. And you can find 3 by the Sea on Etsy, and I highly recommend her stuff because it's just really good. Like I am not disappointed whatsoever. So yeah, so 3 by the Sea. Everybody I'm talking about, I'm actually going to link in the description box below, so you don't have to, you know, rewind and go, who is she talking about? I did finish the hat for the Alaska, and like I said, that's going to be, it'll pop up like kind of where my finger is. There's going to be a box when I talked about that. Excuse me, I kind of have hiccups. Okay, so I know this is kind of short, and I do apologize. I don't really have much else to talk about. This is just kind of like me dipping my toes in the water with this whole podcasting, and I really hope it takes off. Like I said, I don't have any knitting friends, and just the idea of being able to sit and talk, I think this is gonna be fun. Because I know when I knit, like I'll go on YouTube and like I'll pop on Knitting Traditions or The Corner Craft, Crazy Sock Lady, Needles at the Ready. They're really good, good podcast. Just really fun. Kevin and Ray, they are amazing. Their podcast actually is what told me about the Alaska hat pattern. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to knit this up. So yes, Needles at the Ready, they're really good too. And again, I'll link them at the description box below. But anyways, thank you so much for, you know, taking about 25 minutes out of your day to listen to me. And I hope to see you again soon on my next episode. I'm not sure how my filming schedule is going to be. Again, super turtle when it comes to knitting. So I don't want to just sit here and not have anything to talk about on what I've done. But anyways, ideas. So if you have any ideas of what you want me to talk about, or what you would like to see, let me know in the comments, because I am going to read your comments, and I want to make sure that I make this a wonderful place to be, and that you can't wait to, you know, come back and see what else I'm talking about. And again, this is my way of making knitting friends, and hopefully y'all will make friends too. So thank you so much again for stopping by, and if you like it, please hit like, hit subscribe. Like I said, I'm gonna keep doing this until y'all are like, no, and then I may still do it. So anyways, happy Wednesday, and y'all have a wonderful day.